Welcome back to the Puck Bunker. I'm Rocco Zappia, joined as always by my co-host, the man who claims he could stop an Evgeny Kuznetsov slow-mo shootout attempt, Darren Boyce. How you doing?
Never said I would stop that. What I said was an NHL goaltender or a pro goaltender, if you're going to go that slow, you're probably hindering yourself. So,
well, I think.
And guess what, Rocco? He didn't score. So everyone who's complaining about it, like he didn't score. What is there to complain about?
He's been scoring on that move for 15 years.
Well, shocker. Like there's like 3 guys that can do it. And like he's old. He can't do it anymore.
Yeah, well, whatever. You said what you said.
Yeah, I did say what I said.
Okay. It's finally time. We've been trying to do a ranking here for like a solid month at least, and it's just been a lot of honestly, a lot of texting and arguing, and we've agreed on a top 10, and we're going to try to get through a top 32 here by the end of the show. We're just going to put ourselves on the spot, and we're going to do a top 32. And please keep in mind, this is our ranking, not a mock draft. So, which we will do a mock draft, but that's not today. This is our ranking. Judge this list in 5 years from now. Judge our mock draft in June.
Pre-playoffs for most of these guys too.
Yes. I'm still calling it a mid-season list because the real season's about to start. So this is our pre-playoff list, top 32. It can change. It will change.
It will.
Of course it will. It's going to change.
In this draft, it will change.
In any draft, it'll change. If anyone in the whole world thinks they have a list settled by mid-March, they're fucking idiots because there's a lot of hockey left to play. And all these guys, as we will talk about, there are a couple... This is a draft with not a lot of tiers. There's only a few different tiers, and the tiers of guys are quite large, aside from at the very top. So with that in mind, let's just get right into it because we're going to have a fucking hell of a time trying to keep this under an hour.
Just one comment before we start, though. I always said this on a lot of other podcasts. A lot of the guys that we found were ranked highly to start the year, now that we've seen other guys, I feel like that's changed a bit. And I think a lot of other outlets are starting to see that. I mean, I know in a couple of our reviews, we noticed that with certain guys and some other guys were really undervalued. I think it's a little bit different. The draft is a little bit different than it was last year in terms of that. Like there's definitely guys that are going to jump up here that probably weren't on the radar even in October. And kind of vice versa, some guys that, were pretty high on lists in October that are not going to be on some of them. So I don't think that's going to be uncommon here as the year ends.
Now, the last thing I'll say, and I say this before we do a list, every time, if we've mentioned your name even once on this program, we think you're a hell of a hockey player, and part of the program is nitpicking guys. So if you like what we say, I do know probably more families than the players actually will watch us. So if you like what we say, prove us right. If you don't like what we say, prove us wrong. We're wrong about guys every single year. We're right about guys every single year. And we fully realize we're talking about minors here for the most part, or at least half the guys are not 18 yet. And a lot can change between now and the NHL. And look, we're fans of hockey. We're fans of all these kids. And I do realize I'm sitting here in a literal basement with a fucking ring light and a webcam just for the podcast. And so you guys are way better hockey players than either of us ever are. And we get that. So don't get mad if we're critiquing because it's part of the gig. But we're fans of everybody that we even talk about even once. At the end.
And if you want to rip a shot at my head, you can come and do it. It's okay. That's fine. I will allow that.
Well, like we got to say these stuff because you see people online, they're just fucking like, they're so critical. Like, guys, these are fucking literal kids here for the most part. There's a lot of development room left. But the younger you are, the more things there are to work on. So we have to talk about those things too. But don't get mad. We're fans at the end of the day. So hopefully we have some fun with this. And it's a list that nobody hates all that much, but good luck. Because that's not how Twitter works and the internet. So let us know where we fucked up, as I'm sure as I'm sure you will, and without
Well,
further
have a
ado,
conversation. Like again, if you no, but like if you feel really against something, like just let's have a conversation about it.
well,
Tell us why.
the one
Let's have
thing
a
I'll say,
convo.
we're not too big to be wrong, and we're open to changing our minds. So there you go. Enough about that. Legal department's happy now. Imagine if a legal department one day, fuck, that'd be sick. That's when you know you made it, when you have a legal department. Okay, boys, drum roll. Who's the first overall person? I don't want to say pick because it's not a mock, but who's number one on our rankings?
Well, I think Gavin McKenna's still first. I mean, and again, I honestly, it's kind of funny how we did the review of him in the summer and basically predicted what exactly was going to happen. His flaws were going to come to light. People were going to panic that he's just not scoring 80 points in the NCAA. And then we'll get to the point where he starts to improve again. It's actually working on his flaws. And lo and behold, he's still the best guy. So
was there like something with him that went on recently that has really spurred this fiery play that we're seeing? I feel like there may have been some kind of like isolated incident that awoke the beast a little bit here. And I wouldn't want to speculate.
I want to see it on the ice. I want to see him act this way on the ice. Just
okay. Now, what I will say, a lot of the things that we took issue with, he is actively working on, and it's obvious that he's working on these things. And I know, look, we're two of the only guys who haven't actually wavered on him once all year in terms of being number one on the list, right? You see Lawrence number one, you see Reed number one, you see Stenberg number one, you see Verhoff number one, and I'm just kind of like, this is a prime example of over scouting. Just don't overthink it. He's a freak hockey player who's just like inherently super duper fucking good at it. He's going to be a 90+ point player. Are we looking at the second coming of Wayne Gretzky or Sidney Crosby? No, maybe not. And he doesn't have to be. He does not need to be that. Like, he doesn't need that pressure to be some generational fucking whatever, God's gift to hockey. But he is the best player in this draft. Like, whatever team gets him, like, he's a sick player. You look at a guy like Nikita Kucherov, you look at a guy like Jack Hughes, and there is a clear mold for 100+ point player here. And the offense has taken off. 8 points in one game. He went almost full on Daryl Sittler there for a minute, so that helps. But I mean, he's right on track on points per game with all the top guys that have come out of the NCAA the last few years here. So I think everyone needs to just wipe their ass a little bit and realize that this is still the best guy, like, and the most talented. And we're going to talk about Stenberg. McKenna has the most upside in this draft. He's getting, like, he's a offensive fucking freak, and he's figuring out the rest. And I think that he's been on record a few times saying that shit pissed me off. There's guys that just like he was the best in the CHL. He's been the best. He's been the best fucking forever. And it wasn't a challenge. He's never really been challenged. And when you're never challenged, why would you have a chip on the shoulder when you just do what you want all the time? So he's got a chip on his shoulder now because he heard the noise. And his play is clearly different. And his commitment level to the details of the game is clearly improving. Does there more work to do? Sure. But he's aware of the problem. He's working on the issue. Like, I have no doubts that this is a superstar in the making. I'm not going to throw out the word generational, but he's a quality first overall pick, and everyone just needs to relax here and just let the kid just enjoy watching him, because he's a hell of a player and he's a lot of fun to watch, and whoever gets him is just getting a really big piece to the puzzle here.
Look, I'm not going to say anything further. He's the first overall pick. He's the best player. Is he perfect? No. Is he working on it? Yes. He went to a good location to do it. His play's obviously been better. Went to the World Juniors and had like a bajillion points. Did he struggle a little bit against one team? Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, still had a bajillion points. So
no one has 100% every single night.
Yeah, like he's the best guy. So he's number one.
There you go. Number two, we're gonna go with. This is where we start getting ripped already. So this is the point. There's a chunk of guys here that could reasonably go number two, but we're gonna go with Stenberg. I think this is the most pro-ready player in the draft. He could step into the NHL next year, I think, and find some success, or at least find a regular shift in the top 9 wherever he's going. He's got pro details. He's got pro habits. He's used to playing pro hockey. He's successful against men. This is a high-end offensive player. I don't think he quite has the same ceiling as Gavin McKenna, which ultimately was what placed him number 2 on our list. But he might be ready to play in the league. You know, he's a little more physically mature, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him being able to step in right away next year and find some success.
He's really good. He's really good amongst his peers. I mean, in the World Juniors, he was honestly, especially late in that tournament, was really good. Which did have some people pushing for him to go 1 over McKenna. Okay, I guess. Look, I think the 2 forwards go first simply because I do think there is a lack of dynamic offense from the forwards in this draft. I think they're just, whereas there's a bunch of other D. I think, again, this guy can score points in the NHL. Like he has good details. He can play. So
looks like a good chance to be a future point of game player, if not better. So it's almost anticlimactic.
No, yeah. Move on.
Okay, number 3, boys. Who we got?
The answer here is number 3 is Albert Smits.
What? Darren, we're going to hear about it.
Well, again, left shot D, big body. And the reasoning here, a couple things. I think this guy is a pretty solid professional defender already. Big body, fits the mold of a top pair defenseman. I think can play on a power play pretty. Again, I don't think he's going to be Erik Karlsson. Do I think it'd be like an Alex Pietrangelo type? Yeah, I think he can. But this guy played at the Olympics, got a regular shift for Latvia, and playing against teams. And by the end of the tournament, like playing more and more. And we talked about this on the World Junior episode. If he doesn't get run out of the building, that's a big deal. And he didn't just get run out, like he was solid. So, I mean, I don't know how he can be, again, maybe you like one of these D better than him. Certainly the other forwards left here can't be going over him. Definitely cannot be. We already saw the floor. The floor is an NHL player. The floor is a little guy who could probably play in the NHL next year.
And that's the thing. I was so okay. So this is where we start, in our opinion. Maybe the next 5 guys, at least from 3 to 8 here, or 3 to 7, are pretty fluid on most lists. I say 3 to 7 on most lists are very, very fluid. So we consider this a tier. And when it came down to who we have 3 versus 4 versus 5 and 6 and 7, Smith was way too good for the junior league. Okay. And he's had success against men all year. Like, he clowned guys in those early season junior league highlights. Like, it was hilarious to watch. He did whatever he wanted. Now you see him against the best players in the world. He played against the US, he played against Sweden, and regularly won battles.
Yeah, the physicality, like his physical body held up.
But like, so everyone talks about this like decision-making issues that he has. Because he went in and played, adapted to literal NHL players, and played a simple, effective. He didn't take crazy chances. He showed he knows how to play in a fucking system and succeed and play in a certain role, where it's like, play within yourself here and maybe don't run around too much. So I don't think there's this notion that he has some hockey sense issues, and I just don't really get it. You look at what happened with Mo Seider, where he jumped to 6th overall after being ranked in the 20s most of the year, and that was from playing World Championships or Olympics with no NHLers. World Championship.
It was World Championship, yeah.
But he played really well against pros, and all of a sudden he's 6th overall. So there's no bigger stage here than the Olympics. And like, he didn't just hold his own against the US and the Sweden. Like, he was a positive. He was a net positive out there for his team in a game where his team was really overmatched. He was effective against the best players in the world in his draft eligible season. So what's that say about, like, what's he going to be when he's 24? And even if he plateaus, you're looking at a super high floor of a top 4 guy who's going to be able to play a shit ton of minutes in pretty much every situation. So you've seen him, when it came down to for us, is we've seen him play against and succeed against a higher level of competition by far than anyone else in this draft class has done.
He's played at a higher level more effectively than anybody.
Yeah.
Like he played the US, like he played the gold medalist.
Yeah. And looked good.
Like
he bullied Matthews off 2 pucks.
That's what I mean. Like
he bullied Matthews off 2 pucks.
Yeah.
One of the best players in the world.
I don't know what that says about that says more about Smits or Matthews, but I digress.
Yeah, I know that, but so
look, he was good in the Olympics.
I don't know how you see that and don't.
But even amongst his peers, he was good. Like in the World Juniors, Latvia, I would say overachieved. They were in every game basically but one. He was the guy playing like 30 minutes. Yeah. And again, he wasn't, because he's playing 30 minutes, he's not, again, I didn't see these decision-making issues when he's playing a defensive game. Now, maybe it's if he tries to push offense a bit more, and that's what he needs to develop a bit more. The floor here is he's going to be a top 4 defenseman. He just is. Like, it's already here. And I don't think it's unrealistic to think that he could legitimately play next year if a team wanted him to.
No, you could be looking like, this is premature, but you could be looking at a 1,000 game guy.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he's going to be able to play so young. He'll be able to play, if not next year, he'll be able to play at 19, like the year after, for sure. And he's a Euro. He's got the benefit of going to the American League if you want him to.
And he's played in Liga this year and looked pretty good in Liga. Yeah. And now he's moved to DEL. And like, I have more than enough confidence he's going to be good there too. Will he need to step up a league? Yeah. I think next year you're going to have to see him probably play. You want him maybe in the Swedish league, maybe, or you bring him over. So
he plays in the American League to start next year.
You bring him over. So
you bring him over and you put him in the American League to start next year, and you see how long it takes him to be too good for that league too, because it seems to be becoming a common trend for him that he's just ready to take on more and more and more. So that's number 3, Albert Schmitz. That brings us to number 4, Keaton Verhoff, massive right-hand defenseman, do-it-all guy. Number 5, fine. I get to announce both of them. We're going to go with Carson Karls at number 5. And we actually debated who goes where, honestly. Karls has shown such massive – I said this after the Holinka. There's way more offense in there than people think. And he's shown that. His puck movement game, he's just such a smart fucking player. He almost never messes up. And there's been massive improvements in his offensive game from the start of the year till now. He commands the ice with the puck. He commands a power play. And he's showing a lot of high-end traits here, where at the beginning of the year, he was kind of pigeonholed into being just a shutdown guy. There's a lot more there, and there's actually a lot of debate here. And again, what it came down to was quality of competition. Verhoff's looked very good against
most of the time.
Most of the time. Now, the one thing we will say is, though, we do have some reservations with Verhoff's ultimate upside in terms of points and puck movement and that sort of thing. Is this a PP1 guy, or is this more of a shutdown guy who's just already really, really good? And that's what a team will have to figure out there.
Yeah, that's what we have to determine too ourselves, because it does look like Karl's puck moving is getting better as the year goes on. We had some reservations about Verhoff early in the year. Sometimes I think speaking of Smits, and people were thinking of his decision making, I have more reservations about Verhoff than I do about Smits, for instance, right? Like, I think Verhoff has some decision making issues more so. Now, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, though. He is playing college, as we've talked about, is basically a pro league. Like, it is again, I think the NCAA is better than a lot of European leagues now. Like, or at least the higher end teams are.
It's better. It's better than the higher end teams are better than like second division European leagues.
Yeah, like this is good. Like, this is a good level. It's better than the WHL.
Yes.
I'm going to give Verhoff
he's righty versus lefty.
He's a righty. So I think he's done well. And even at the World Juniors, like, both Verhoff and Karls didn't really play a lot. I thought they both looked pretty similar there. I thought they when
They
they
both
did play.
they both looked better as the tournament went on, though, which is a
I
good
thought
sign.
both of them were effective when they did play. I
Yeah.
thought when they kept it simple, they were fine. They both showed some flashes, so. I think they're, again, I think you could see these guys. I think they're in the same ballpark. I think you can go either way with them. So,
yeah. Ooh, we're gonna get hate, geez, for having a couple guys outside the top 5, but that's okay.
I don't care.
I know, me neither. So we're gonna discuss why, obviously. So McKenna, Stenberg, Smits, Verhoff, Carls, number 6, Darren.
Caleb Malhotra. So the top center off the board.
Which, by the way, if anyone watches regularly, I called that in December before anyone.
We've been talking about this for a while that he should have been.
Speaking of guys that just keep getting better.
Well, I think the argument for centers is more between him and Suvanto, not him and Lawrence. I think Malhotra and Suvanto are the two top centers here. I think Lawrence is a tier below them. I thought that most of the year, to be honest. So Malhotra, again, we put him 6th. He's gotten better all year. Big body. I have no questions of his physical ability. I think he's a tank. I think that he moves the puck decently well. I just don't know if he's a number 1 center. That's kind of the reservation I have with him. But I think the floor is quite high here. I think this is definitely, a guy who's a middle 6 center. I think he's I think he's a second line center. I think he can definitely be that. The upside, again, I think if someone thinks he's a first line center, you can go higher. And,
I think the upside,
that's the argument you and I have had
a lot.
But there's a lot of safety in this pick, I think, and then you still get an upside play at a premium position where there's a lack of centers throughout this draft too. There's not a lot of them.
Again, and honestly, do not be surprised if he goes as high as 3rd.
Yeah, he can go higher. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's where we have him for now. I really want him to find a way to put him in the top 5, but who do you take out, right? And that's the question here. So
we'll see how he does in the playoffs.
In terms of the upside and the offensive stuff and first line versus second line versus third line, I actually think his floor is a second line center. And I know that's where you think he kind of settles in, but I think that's his floor. I have a very hard time believing he'll become anything less than a 60-point second line's two-way guy that's really effective all over the ice. Now, when I watch him early in the year, that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, this is a really good two-way player. Looks like a first-round pick. And then next game I saw him added a couple moves. And then he added some playmaking, and then added some creativity. And then all of a sudden now he's blowing pucks past goalies' shoulders and ears and going bar down. And his short area playmaking is fucking really good. And no one has talked about that enough because he's so good in tight spaces moving the puck. And there's something that translates really, really, really fucking well. Because all you need in the NHL, if you're good at short area playmaking, all you need is to twist around one defense and make one guy come off his man. These little mistakes happen. Every shift almost there's some little opportunity, and if you're a good short area playmaker, that's going to translate. And I actually think this guy has 75+ point upside all over him. You look at a guy you look at Rob Thomas. He was apparently not supposed to be this offensive juggernaut either, and lo and behold, you're looking at a point a game player who's one of the most coveted traded pieces on the market.
They're not the same though. Again, Thomas, when he was in junior, was a pretty elite playmaker, right? Malhotra's skating has really improved. I think that's the biggest thing here. Again, even speaking of people who watched him early in the year a lot, again, I've watched him previously. That was the issue with him. He
commands the ice now with his
not an issue anymore, and he's strong. He has pro strength. He's an NHL father. He plays both ways. I have no question he's going to play in the league. I just don't know if he's going to drive playmaking. I think he can drive possession, and that's why I have him this high, because I think that he wins a ton of puck battles, and as you say, wins the puck, makes the short area play. So if he plays with some elite guys, it'll work well. It'll work really well.
He's so good in transition too.
Yeah, it'll work really well, especially if you put him with like some elite. Okay, put him with Gavin McKenna.
Yes.
Like then it'll
Yes.
work really well. But I don't know if you're just gonna put like I don't know if you're gonna count on him to fully drive offense, and that's the reservation I have with him being like a number one. I'm gonna win a Stanley Cup with this guy center.
I would argue that being able to strip the puck in the D zone, carry it into the O zone, and establish possession is driving offense.
Well, it's driving possession for sure. It's a good start.
How
It's
do
a
you
good
get
start, but again, I'm just not
offense
sure if he's
there?
going to. Yeah, but I'm not sure. Like again, with a Gavin McKenna, like he's going to create scoring opportunities
On his own. Yeah.
on his own for other like just put on a platter for guys like that. I just don't know if he's like that type of guy.
No, but he could be like Kadri.
You said Bo Horvat,
another great
like
example.
but again, but Bo Horvat would be an elite number 2 center on a cup winning team, right?
Sick.
But this is the point. Like, I don't think he's going to be the number 1 on a cup winner, but if you put him as a number 2, he's awesome. Like he's good. He's really good.
Yeah. So
he's the best center here.
Number 7, Darren.
Okay. I will talk about this one because I know some people will be up. Chase Reed is 7th. Big right-hand mobile defenseman who can drive offense. However, and I have seen someone put him as high as number 1. His decision-making still needs improvement. He isn't very physical, and I don't think he's a great defender. For that, there's a very high ceiling here where he could be on a number 1 pair. But to me, there's just a little too low of a floor here with the player compared to these other defensemen. And again, I'm the risk-averse guy, and that's fine. It's just my opinion. Again, like he can do things, especially running a power play. Like, again, I think he can run a power play.
A first power play.
I think he can. It's the other parts of the game that I worry about. However, his size and his skating are tantalizing, and you hope you can work with him to make those things good. Because then if it is good, he has the highest upside of any of these D. So again, he's another guy that I think could go as high as 3.
I think he goes as high as 2.
I guess you're right. Like the right shots are so,
you could go second.
Well, the right shots are just, you've seen it already. Like the right shots are so in demand.
Verhoff and Reed could go second for that reason.
Like, and people can shit on Colton Parayko all they want. Buffalo literally was going to trade their 9th overall pick last year or 10th overall pick and another first round pick for him because they cannot find right-hand shot D. Like good right-hand shot D are really hard to find, and they're in demand. So like just even from an asset point of view, he probably should be ranked higher, but
this is the guy whose position will probably change on our mock draft versus our ranking.
Yeah.
So there you go. So Chase Reed, and that kind of caps a tier here. Honestly, it does. Although I will say, whoever we have 8th could make this 8 and 9 could work their way into this tier by the time it's all said and done. And number 8 should be no surprise.
Well, with us.
Well, anyone who watches regularly, this will be no surprise. It's Oliver Savanto. And we'll talk about them both here. But what will be a surprise is number 9, Vigo. You made us believers. We got Vigo Bjork, the first person under 6 foot ever in our top 10, I think. And so there you go. We got Vigo Bjork at number 9. Boys, let's talk about Savanto first at number 8.
One of the youngest players in the draft, like a pretty big development window here. Playing pro, looking again like a solid contributor in pro, has really good details. His size, big guy, big physical player, scores hard points, does hard things. Now, he has more development though to go. This is more of a projection with the player. Again, I think the floor is actually quite high here. I think this is a guy who plays. Malhotra's floor is, as you said, I think higher than Suvanto's. I think Suvanto could definitely settle into a bottom. Worst case scenario,
he's middle 6.
Worst case scenario, he's on a 3rd line center, effective, big body, kills penalties, does that type of thing. Like he'll contribute. You're picking him though, where you hope the skills follow, the improvement follows, and you can develop his offense a bit more. But again, he's extremely young. He played in the World Juniors this year as a double underager, scored a couple goals, was playing some key minutes for a good team. And he's noticeably stronger than everyone. Like, he causes a lot of problems just as a forechecker and along the boards. Like, he didn't get credit for points, but there's a bunch of goals in that tournament that it's like, well, he created the goal, got the puck off a guy, hit a guy, went to a couple teammates, and they ended up scoring. And that's kind of even Holinka, really impressive amongst his age group. Again, he was off the radar to start the year, right? Until we saw him at the Holinka, like, this guy's really good. So
I think you're looking like you said, he's a very, very high floor. I think you're looking at worst of 40-point guy that's on your third line and playing all the toughest minutes and playing against the other team's best players. And I think at best you're hoping for a 30-30 guy or a 25-40 guy, somewhere in the 65-point range where he can be a really high-end second line center. Because Malholtra's higher because he's shown more, he's demonstrated more offense. And Suvanto has in spits and spurts, but you don't know exactly what the ceiling is, the ultimate upside is here. So, but again, very high floor player. He does all the little things right, and we believe the offense is there.
Well, you'll want his skating to get better too. Like, again, his skating's okay. It can get better. And this is why, again, he's outside of that tier. I think he's just a tier below the other 7 that we had. Again, I'd much rather take a shot on him as the center than Tynan Lawrence. Like, I think, again, I've seen more out of him at his own level, at the junior level, 2 years down, and even in pro. Like, again, he has been contributing and I think that should be noted. I think that's impressive, and he gets key minutes late in games. I mean, he wins faceoffs for his team, again, as a 17-year-old. It's noteworthy.
Okay, so speaking of succeeding in pro, Viggo Bjork has been absolutely awesome at every single level that he's ever played at. There you go. All the people that want us to like a small guy, we really like Viggo Bjork. This guy, you have to have something off the charts as a small guy, whether it's skill or tenacity or hockey sense, right? And Viggo Bjork is just such a hockey IQ. Like, my God, he's a smart player. So that levels the playing field for him. And his size becomes so much less of an issue. And he also does have some grease to him. He does have the tenacity to go with it. Like, you look at a guy like Marchessault, who's just right in the fucking battle, and it doesn't matter how big he is. And Bjork has that attitude too, and he's got what it takes to overcome the one thing that we really harp on, which is size. And if he's 6'2", we're probably looking at him second or third overall. But he's not. But we still think he's a top 10 pick.
I thought he had a better tournament than Stenberg did at the World Juniors.
Well, that's what I was kind of insinuating.
Like, he was I thought he was the better guy. He does a lot of things around the ice when you kind of zone in on him. He's dragging defenders towards him and opening space for others, and he just constantly is doing that. He's creating chances. Maybe not give him 4 breakaways in a row. Probably not a shootout specialist, if anyone gets that World Juniors joke. But I like him. Like, again, I don't have as much, like, I have issues with small guys a lot of the time. He works hard and he's smart. So I can, like, again, I'm fine with it. His skill's good. He can do everything. So if you think he can play center, is maybe well, that could be. I think
in the NHL, I think in the NHL, I think he's a winger.
It could be a factor. Like, it could be a factor for some teams.
It could be a guy that takes faceoffs and plays some center. I don't know. I don't want a small center.
We like him. He's good. He's being successful in pro. He's good in his class. So
okay, number 10, we got Ethan Belches. And this is the last time that we're going to agree. So Ethan Belches at number 10. His season's unfortunately down the shitter, which is too bad, because we're not going to get to see him in the playoffs or the U18s or anything like that. So, but he's done enough. 6'5", high-end puck skill, good shooting ability. What's the ultimate offensive upside? Are we looking at an 80-point player? I'm not sure, because when you're that big, you can tend to dominate in junior, and you don't know always how it's going to translate. Do you end up like, are you Lawson Krause or are you Cam Neely? I don't know. We'll find it. We'll find out, right? So you don't know and how that's going to translate exactly, but you have a very, very high floor as a top 9 winger that's probably going to be fucking no fun to play against in his mid-20s, and who does have a lot of skill to go with it. For my money, I think you're looking at a top 6 player here, and he probably would have had a chance to be higher on our list if it wasn't for the injury, but we feel he's done enough at this point over the last 2 seasons, and we've seen enough from him that this is about as low as we were kind of willing to drop him.
Skating's improved. He's shown improvement. I don't think he's a play driver, and that's more why I think he's the bottom of this list. However, I do think he's a very solid contributing winger, and he's a big body, and he does things that are going to translate later in playoff formats. Like, he scores from areas that are dirty areas. He's really good in net front. Again, he's not fully developed. He's great in front of the net. That's kind of his bread and butter. I could see this guy again. Teams love a hard, big, hard winger who can bang along the boards and score a greasy goal in the third round of the playoffs. I think he can do that. I think he can be on a, again, you have a play driving centerman. This guy's on your wing, kind of creating some space and getting to net and just banging pucks in. Yeah. He's a solid prospect. Like, again, I was worried about his skating, maybe going into Holinka. He looked like he improved there. He's been good all year. Like, and Windsor's going to really miss him because I think they did have a shot to win the league, but without him, I'm not so sure. Shout out to the Kitchener Rangers. That's who I think is going to win. And Sam O'Reilly, another guy I like, by the way. But nonetheless, yeah, there's going to be teams in this spot, especially with what's available. Be like, okay, this is the highest contributing guy to when we're good. Like, this is a guy who can come on the team when we're a good team. Because there's going to be teams here like, what, 10th, 11th worst in the league, 10th worst in the league. They're just kind of looking at making the playoffs now. I think he's a guy. It's going to be, again, you have your star players, then you put this guy in your line, and he contributes, and he'll give them another look that they wouldn't have in their organization. So I'm happy to take him here.
Okay, now we're at the point. The only way that we're going to do this
is where kind of things get interesting in the draft, I think.
All right, so let's each propose a name. If it's the same name, that's the guy. If it's a different name, we're going to have to sort it out. I think at 11, you kind of have. It's time to put Lawrence here, because I think there's a high floor as a 3C. And
what's the ceiling?
Second line center is a ceiling.
I'm not as sold on that. I would say Adam Novotny was the guy I was going to propose here.
I really like it. Okay, so we think Novotny has done enough more than Lawrence to make up for the fact that he's like winger versus center.
I think with Novotny, we saw in the World Juniors there was effective play there, and yes, there is effective third line skills. But again, if you look at his offense, he has some translatable ability to be like a 20-30 guy, maybe even like 25-40 guy, like something like that.
He's a really good shot. He's a really good shot.
He's a good shot. He's a tank. He's not the biggest guy, but the center of gravity is really good. Like, he wins a lot of puck battles. I have no qualms that he's going to be effective as an NHL player. Again, he's not Malhotra, but same type of thing where he's really strong on pucks. He's not a center, but he's a winger, but he's strong on pucks, strong in battles. He's going to come away with the puck. Great forechecker. Again, if you put him as a contributing winger with a high-level type centerman, I think he can be a guy who gets a decent amount of points and positive minutes. My issue with Lawrence is, like, I do see I see the floor, but I haven't seen the high offensive upside that I'm looking for. Like, I don't see him as a great playmaker. He skates into guys all the time with the puck. And that tells me he's a third line center. Like, I just don't see the creativity, I guess maybe is the answer here. Like, he's good and fast. He works hard. He has pro traits. I just don't see the offensive traits. Whereas like Novotny, I do see some offensive traits here that translate.
Okay, so I don't disagree with anything that you're saying about Novotny, and I've had my question about Lawrence upside too, and I kind of proposed him next, but if we're going to take that route with Novotny, and let's just say for the sake of making the list right now, we're going to pencil Lawrence in as a 3C down the road, right? If we're going to go Novotny 11, 12 should be the two centers, Lawrence, Morozov, or it should be Novotny, Rudolph. And you're not going to like that, but that's what it should be.
Thanks.
Or are we going to take the centers, or are we going to take the scoring winger and the high upside right D?
What's the high upside of Rudolph? What's the elite skill?
The offensive play, Darren.
I'd argue that there's D with better offensive skills than him, and he's not that big.
We rank them in the top, and we rank them in the top 7.
Oh no, there's other D that have more offensive skills than him, like down that we still haven't talked about.
There are, and they're not. There are, but they're 5'10". Okay, and see, this guy's 6'2".
One we just had in the previous episode.
We just gave. We can't call Macbeth at 6'2", perfect prototype fucking size, and then say Rudolph's not big. Like,
he moves the puck better than him.
So,
but he moves the puck better.
Can't shoot like that, Darren. He's got 28 goals, 74 points. Like, he's a threat from the point. Okay, the kid knows how to score. He can move it on the power play. Is he the greatest decision maker? And maybe he's a little casual at times. Yes, but that's why he's 12th and not 5th. No, but he's a 6'2" right-hand D. He's going to score 30 goals this year in the dub. These guys don't grow on trees here.
Well, Kashawn Aitchison's going to score like 35 goals or something, and I still don't think he's a great defender. I'd be more willing to have Lawrence up here. I'd be more willing to have Lawrence and Morozov up here than I would be Rudolph.
Well, Rudolph has. You want to talk upside? Like, how are we going to? We're going to not put Lawrence over Novotny because of upside, and then we're going to turn around and ignore the 6'2" right-handed D who's got 28 goals.
Well,
if I told you nothing else other than
okay, but
if I told you nothing else,
he can score. He has a good shot. He has a good shot, Rocco. I don't think he moves the puck that great. I think he's not a great skater. I think there's better skaters than him at that size. I don't think he's an elite defender.
He's not an elite defender, but there's going to be but that's what it is at this point. It's upside, which is there more than Lawrence, versus safety, because we're pretty sure that like Lawrence is going to play in the NHL. Same with Morozov and same with Novotny. There's safety there. Rudolph has some flaws. He does, but he has more upside. If that guy hits, you're going to be like, how the fuck is this not a top 5-6 pick? So what's the risk reward here?
The problem is I don't see the high defensive upside. It's fine. He can play some, like, again, it's fine, but he, as you said, he has some issues with making some brain farts. I don't think he's the best puck mover. And even on the power play, yes, he can shoot the puck. But again, I don't think he's the best decision maker or moves the puck as quick as some other guys. So yes, the bomb works. He has a good shot. Like, again, do you think that's more impactful than even a third line center who, again, might have second center upside? I don't see him as a top pair D.
Okay,
like, that's the issue.
Isn't Novotny then Lawrence?
If we wanted to go Lawrence and then, Morozov or something, if you really want to put the centers there, that's fine. They're in the same tier. I'm going to go out on a limb, though. I actually think Morozov might go ahead of him.
Ahead of Lawrence.
Jack Nesbitt went, 11th last year?
We talked about this. Like, that wouldn't shock me, but I have a hard time, like, we can put Rudolph a couple spots here. Like, I'm going to pump the brakes at a certain point. But I do think, like, in a mock draft, he's going higher than where we're ranking him.
That's different, though. That's different.
There's just so much more potential than the two centermen. There's also flaws. Okay, here's what we're going to do. And you're not going to like it, but you're going to like it because we're going to have to move on here. We're going to go Novotny, Morozov, Lawrence, Rudolph. Does that work for you?
Okay. I'll live with it. Okay, fine. I guess.
Well, we can come back to it, but let's put that there for now because we're in a hat tip Morozov. He's got the size, he's got the net front, he's got the two-way game. Lawrence has struggled to adjust to the NCAA, and this could change at the U18s, and he could jump way back up into our top 10 for all we know with a good tournament. But let's go with him there for now. Rudolph's he's not slipping past this point, and you know that, despite the issues.
I don't know that. I'm going to let you have this, but like, I don't know that. I think there are multiple D here, but they're not right-handed that are better defenders and better overall players than him. And I think they have just as much or more potential.
All right, well, let's put him with an asterisk for now. But I just don't think he's played so poorly that we're dropping him so far down.
This has nothing to do with him playing poorly. This has more to do with what else is available. But again, I think we're getting a good idea in this draft now. What the problem?
These guys don't grow on trees. You talked about how valuable right-hand D are, and especially one with offensive pop.
Sure. Well, we'll put him there. I'm just saying I do think there's some other guys that I like better here that I would take, but I'll take the centerman. That's fine. And then we can put him there. Like, again, what's he, 14th here?
14th. Can you live with that?
Yeah, I'll live with that. Again, you don't like. I'm going to go the other D that I actually like here.
We've got like the next. So I'll say this basically from Morozov, from 12 to 21 is kind of a grouping for us, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Like there's some that are higher and lower, but that's kind of a tier, honestly. It's all guys that we've talked about in this range.
It's around 20, but yeah. The guy I really like, and again, he knows he's a lefty. And again, yes, Rudolph has more offensive ability than this guy. Malte Gustafsson is good. Like he is a very good defender, and he has elite defensive skills. Like again, if you watch him play, he can end plays in a hurry. He has good wheels. The issue is that I don't think there's much offense there, but the floor is good. Like this is a player. He's going to play in a lineup, and I think he moves the puck fine enough. He's also a complete, like he hammers guys, and like you can't find these guys. So, but it's again, there's a couple guys I have here. I think he's in this tier. However, we've talked about this. There is a lack of offensive upside with the forwards here. That's the problem. And I think there are other left-handed D that we can take later here.
So here's my thing with Gustafsson. I really like the player a lot, but he is what he is. This is not going to be a points guy for you. He's going to play solid defense. He's going to play hard minutes. He's going to play in the PK. He's going to shut down guys. But like, how high does that like? It's harder to find offensive upside than it is to find that at the pro level. And that's not to take anything away from him. It's just he's excellent at what he does, but what he like is just not necessarily as high of a value as a guy who might be able to go put up 65 points.
Well, I think he's like a bigger version of like a Nicholas Kronwall, who was a first round pick. Now he was later in the first.
That's high praise, Darren.
He plays like him. Like he does. He plays like him, and he's bigger. So and he has more. Like he has more athletic skills. So but again, I'm not. So my other suggestions here are Elton Hermanson, who I do think has 30 goal upside here. There is and again, I don't think he's a play driver, but again, I think he can play in a top six and be an effective goal scorer at the NHL level. He gets open a lot. He can score. I think it translates where he can score at any time. Put him on a power play, he can score. If someone's there setting him up in the NHL at the NHL level with a good playmaking center, another good playmaking winger, he can score.
Hermanson is a guy that I think belongs here, and it's because of all of what you just said.
Look, is he the most exciting pick here? No. Do I think this is a guy that could play in the NHL a long time and be an effective player? Yeah. Could he be like a Tyler Toffoli type? Yeah. Like
I think this is a top
six all the time.
I think this is a top six winger.
Yeah.
So let's go with Hermanson at 15. I wouldn't mind putting in one more guy with upside and then putting Gustafson 17, because you look at where these guys typically go, and it is typically in the second half of the first round. So we can put him at the top of the second half of the first round, but I wouldn't mind putting, this may sound early to some people, but I would put either Hemming, or probably even more than that, I would put Dagenais.
Put Dagenais there. Jot him down. This is a Q-friendly show.
Oh, that was easy. All I gotta do is mention a guy from the Quebec League, and all of a sudden you forget Gustafson's fucking.
Any league that gives you in and out privileges to go have a beer outside is good with me.
So the rink in Gatineau. So I'm at the rink in Gatineau the other day, and first intermission comes around, and I'm a little squirrely, so I like to walk around during the intermission, just whatever. Wander around, go outside, go back inside, make a phone call, kill the time. People outside, they just put a little stamp on your hand. You leave the rink, they put a little stamp on your hand. Nothing fancy here, guys. Scan the ticket in and out. None of that shit. People just go outside, have a smoke, bring their beer with them. No one's arresting them. No one's giving them a fine. And guess what? No one's acting like a fucking idiot either, because guess why? They don't need to, because they're allowed to bring their goddamn beer out to have a smoke during the intermission. I know these things aren't good for you, kids. Don't do those. But if you do those, do them at a hockey game. And
in Gatineau at the Slush Puppy Center.
Gatineau was great. Quebec League, everyone rats on it, but it's the best from a fan. It's the best fan experience.
Okay.
Now I haven't been to a dub game, but pretty much every rink in Quebec does not give a fuck what you do. And that's
off the rails here. Maddox Dagenais is good. He's underrated. Another underrated guy. He's a massive body who's really skilled, can shoot the puck and hammers guys. He's basically what everyone wanted Ryan Rubrick to be at the start of the year. And here's the counter, though, is that the problem with Dagenais is that last year, apparently, he was just like what Rubrick was this year. So, like, I'm confused.
No. Hold on. Because I did go specifically to watch. He's not the hardest on the back check. And like when we watch him on video, which is why it's so important to get in-person viewings.
Yeah.
You'll see him on video and it's like he'll come into the screen and he'll force a turnover, he'll hit a guy, he'll move the puck off ice. But I'm like, how did you enter the play from that part of this screen? Like, how did that happen? And you watch live and it's like the critiques, his on puck effort.
He's not perfect. He is not perfect.
No, but we downplayed the criticisms. Like just a couple more strides in the neutral zone wouldn't hurt. But other than that, like when there's a puck available, he goes hard. He's just selective at times, but I'm not worried about it. I really like him. He's underrated.
But it's again, so 6'3" guy could handle the puck and hits guys and shoot.
And a wicked shot.
That's a first rounder. That's a mid first rounder. He's going to go 30-30 in the queue this year. He's going to score 30 goals in his draft year.
Next two guys, I think we're looking at Gustafson and Hemming.
Well, here's the thing.
Right?
I think you're the other guy's Hurlbert, but I think I would probably still take Hemming. And
Hemming, I want the size in the shot.
Yeah, but you're in the like we've talked about it. You're right. You honestly, I'm thinking about it. You are right. There is a lack of offensive talent here. I would almost do Hemming and Hurlbert and then the D.
Oh, he's coming around.
Listen, I do think Hurlbert has ability.
I'm fine with that, by the way. Hemming and Hurlbert.
Shoot the puck. He could even be above Hemming here because Hemming hasn't been great in college. He's had a lot of opportunities. We're going to give him a little bit of a pass here, I think, because he missed half the year. He couldn't play for insane reasons.
Fine, let's put Hurlbert first because he's had a hell of a year and he deserves a hat tip. And
he could shoot the puck too. Like
he can. He and he's more of a playmaking threat than Hemming is.
He is. Now the thing is with Hurlbert, though, I don't know if he actually is a centerman at the next level. I do think
he's a winger in the NHL.
I think he projects more as a winger.
I have him projected as a top 6 winger.
Yeah, which I think might actually work better for him as a shoot first guy because he can finish.
He's not going to have to play as much defense.
And he can finish. Like he is a finisher. He can, and I just don't know. I like my finishers more on the wing. So I'm a fan of him. He's had a good year, And he just keeps piling up points. Every time you watch him, like, again, him and Bame, like, they just score a bunch of goals. So I have no problem. I think he's probably worked his way into the top 20. So happy with that.
All right, so we're at 19. I'll recap quickly. We got Novotny 11, Morozov 12, Tynan Lawrence 13, Daxon Rudolph at 14, and then we got a bunch of wingers here: Elton Hermanson, Maddox Dagenet, JP Hurlbert, and Oscar Hemming. So, and then Gustafson, Malte Gustafson at 19.
I think Gustafson's 20, or 19, I guess, where we're at here.
19. 20. I think the next three. I think we have a top 22, Darren. I think is what we have, honestly, and we can talk about the order here because all three of them are different. I would like to see, probably in this order, the next three guys be Macbeth, Sherbakov, and Piperinen.
I have Sherbakov at the top of that group, but it's Sherbakov and Macbeth. They're just back to back. So
Macbeth's the better skater, and he's a better puck mover.
Yeah, the other guys, but yeah, Sherbakov's more the potential play if you're trying to hit more of a home run on the guy.
I think Macbeth has upside.
They both have upside. I'm not. I called Sherbakov a mutant on our episode.
But like, there is risk that Sherbakov doesn't play, and I don't see that with Macbeth. So, but and then I really like Piperinen, but I don't necessarily. I think he's kind of might just be a second or third pair kind of.
He's not my next D here.
After Macbeth and Sherbakov.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, it is like,
okay,
sorry.
So we'll go Macbeth 20, Sherbakov 21.
Yeah.
There's a lot of H's in this name. There's two of them. It trips me out every time.
There is two of them. We're gonna spell that name wrong so many times.
Oh, dude, I'm trying to look him up on Instat. Took me 15 fucking minutes. Because there's four guys named Nikita Sherbakov, all spelled with too many H's.
One guy plays in America. I've learned a lot about that guy. Okay.
Something like that in our top 20, which is why we had to do that episode last time, because these two guys.
Yeah, well, it's two top 21 picks. So
we haven't talked about
them yet. Now, in my opinion, there's a few guys here. Pipperinen's in this group. I just think they're kind of I keep watching Piperinen, and I'm just not. Every time I watch him, I'm just not going away excited.
No, I'm always like, meh, he'll play.
He's fine.
He'll play.
But there's nothing really special there. Yeah, he'll play. I guess that's it. He'll play. And it's fine. I like Alex Bilecki a lot because he can skate, and I think he moves the puck really well. He has a lot of room to grow, though. Like, he has to get stronger. But again, if you watch Kitchener play, every game I've seen him play, and I have seen him live, plays a good game.
He's okay. I agree. My issue here, I have a very hard time ranking him as a first rounder because he's so deficient in one area.
He's not that deficient, though.
Darren, he is. He's knocked over several times per game.
He's not that deficient there, though. And he actually uses contact to make plays.
He does. He's smart about it, but he is deficient.
But that's what I mean. So he's going to gain strength. There's potential here.
There's lots of potential, but we're still looking at guys that are going to play.
Do we know any of these guys are going to? Okay, so on this list here, do we really know if any of these guys are going to play? Like, of everyone who's left here?
Yes.
Literally, it's Piperinen.
So Pipperinen's going to play. Aram Olsen's going to play. And Rogowski's going to play, but he's a second anyways because there's not enough offense there. But so I don't want to. I'm not saying we should put him here, but he'll play. And Aram Olsen's going to play, and Pipperinen's going to play.
I would actually say Hextall's going to play,
and Hextall's going to play, and Colin's going to play.
Yeah, if we're actually going who's going to play.
So I really like Bilecki. I really do.
I'm being dead straight with you. He should be a first. He's 6'2". He's 175 pounds. He's going to gain strength. If he was on a different team, he would have a boatload of points because he plays for Kitchener and he doesn't get to play in the power play. And like I think he moves the puck better than Cam Reed does. Like literally on their power play. Like Cam Reed's more of like an Eric guy. Like he holds the puck all the time. Like he doesn't move. Like it's just hold the puck because he's such a good skater. He'll like wheel around the entire zone in the power play. Like he gets the puck moving. I don't know, man. Like I don't think there's much difference between him and Macbeth. Sorry. Like I don't think there is a ton of difference. Other than Macbeth is a little bit stronger right now and has more of an opportunity to play.
And he's a better skater, Darren.
I disagree. I don't think he's that much better of a skater at all. I think they're pretty similar.
See, I think Macbeth's skating is a lot smoother. He looks like he has more power in his stride, but that is a strength thing too. Like you said, he's lightning fast off the line. I don't know, but we've already ranked Macbeth higher, so like I don't know what I'm arguing about with you.
We did rank him higher, so
it's hard for me to put him ahead of Piperinen, who is more developed, more mature, bigger, and right-handed.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to put him here, fine. We can put Piperine in there, fine. But I'm just making that case because it should be known, and he's going to be on one of our future episodes. It's a very undervalued player.
He is. I agree, and he's in my top 32. He just wasn't in my top 22, but he's in this next group here. So I think he's a candidate to go next. I think as much as we're going to be frustrated about it, Villeneuve, Lynn, possibly Tommy Blyle is in this conversation. Aaron Molson here is Klepov's here. Valentini, Cullen, Ruck, Vandenberg, Hextall, Mutrin, Rubrick. Where do you want to go here? Because we're now wide open. We're like, in our opinion, this is now fucking wide open for the next 20 picks. So
I'm willing to move. Listen, I'm willing to move Bilecki down a few spots here then. We're going to take some forwards here because there is some supreme skill guys that I do, or at least there's one supreme skill guy here that I do really like that has some flaws, but the brain's good. And that's Klepov. Like Klepov is a good player. He's not small. He just again, his skating and he's weak. Like he's weak. There's really no other way around it. And
you like him better than Aaron Molson, eh?
His brain is better than Aaron Molson's. It is better. He sees the ice better.
Aaron Molson
is stronger and he plays more
stronger. He's harder.
He'll play the B game's better.
The B game's much better.
Yeah.
And honestly, his hands and his shot are sick.
They're good. They're not Klepov's are better. Like Klepov has great hands. Great hands, great ability to see this. He sees plays before they developed.
So I will say those are my next two guys. And I'll let you decide. You let me kind of decide with those those couple of D there, what order to go. So those are my next two forwards. I have Aaron Molson, then Klepov, but I'll let you make the call.
I just think you're so. The problem is here, if you look, your next skilled forwards that are left all have like gigantic kind of issues with effort. I don't think Klepov has an issue with effort. I think it's
selective at times, but all wingers are.
But it's not. I don't think his is more like. Again, I think he's actually a pretty solid defender. I think he can be a decent rush defender. He's weak, and so I think this player is a different player if he's stronger. I think he's still going to maintain that brain that he has, become a lot hard. He's going to win more pucks. He's going to be a step faster. He's going to be not knocked off the puck as easily, even though he's not knocked off it that easily anyway. He's a high point producer as a 17-year-old.
Yes, he's dynamic.
Like he can. Like he
my
has
only
a
reservation. My only reservation with him is there are times where I wonder. He's high skill. He's got the hands. He's got the hockey. I don't know. Like there's times where I'm like, are you quite dynamic enough to play this way in the NHL? And that's where I go back and forth with him, which is why I put Aaron Molson higher. Is I know like I have more confidence Aaron Molson can play on a third line if he doesn't become a 60-point guy. Whereas if Klepov doesn't, and there's a chance he's junior level elite and not NHL level dynamic elite, and that was why I had them flip that way, but I really like him because I agree with everything you're saying. But there are times where I wonder if it's teetering on NHL elite versus any other league in the world elite.
Well, I think look, in my opinion, I do think his ability to see the ice offensively would translate in the NHL. Like, I think it would.
That will on a power play and all those offensive situations, but is it going to, like, who's he kicking off a power play, right? To get
I think he can be a half boards guy in an NHL power play. There's 32 of them basically.
Yeah, fair.
It's hard to play that role. I agree. I think he's good enough to do it. He makes really good decisions. Like, again, offensively, he makes good decisions with the puck. He knows when he should pass the puck. He knows when he should hold it. He knows when he should go to net. He knows when he should shoot. He knows when, hey, if I dish it down here, I'm going to be open if I go over 2 more steps. Like, he sees plays. Like, that's hard to do when you see plays ahead of time. I've seen that multiple times for him where he creates by his first pass. He saw the other guy that was going to be open on the secondary assist, basically.
Yeah.
And it was a legit secondary assist. He created the play on the secondary assist. It'll be a team, I think, that takes him that's, again, like a Calgary or something that needs some talent.
Fucking exactly what I was thinking too.
No, but it's like going to be someone like that again, it might not be a team's first pick, but it's a second pick.
Yeah.
Like, we need to get some offense. We need to find some, a dynamic playmaker here. He is I don't think he's Cole Reshny, but he's a good playmaker. Like, he can move the puck around.
Okay. So do you want to do Klepov 23 and Aram Olsen 24?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do, I'm fine with that because those are my next 2 forwards. Now's at the point where I think we have to, there's decisions between, there's guys who are going to probably play still, like you said, Hextall, Mutrin, possibly a guy like Rogowski, but again, I think that's more of a second round.
I'm not as set on you that he's playing, man. Like, he's a project. He's definitely a project.
Maybe. Okay, well, let's not worry about him then. What direction do you want to go?
Look, it's the problem is here. I'm just looking at looking at the forwards here.
I think it's time for one of the American forwards.
Well, so here are my next 3 forwards. I have Hextall, I have Vandenberg, and I have Cullen. And I'm assuming you have Mutrin too. I have Hextall's the top of that group to me. I think I even said that to you, guy we really liked last year. Again, they're not the same player. There is some bills on it in this guy. Like, he does work really hard, but he works hard and has some skill and can play both ways. He isn't big. He's not as big as Zonin was, but he really effective. And he could possibly be a center. Again, that's the other. He could possibly play center because I think his details are good. Doesn't win draws well enough yet, but I mean,
we agree with 2 of the 3. My next 3 are Mutrin with Cullen and Hextall. Cullen has progressed. He's taken such a big growth spurt, and his progression has been so good. Hextall's been he's really good. They're my next 2. Cullen's progression has been a lot steeper, which to me tells me maybe there's another level still to come. I would have him ahead. I think there's maybe a little more offense there, but you really like Hextall as well. But I would go Cullen then Hextall. But if you're really sure that you want to go Hextall then Cullen, that's fine with me too.
Well, there's the potential to play center here. I do think Hextall has better details. He's a more detailed player here.
He does, but I don't know if he has as much pop.
He's pretty good pop. Like, his hands are pretty good. Again, I think Cullen's hands are better. His hands aren't bad. He can create for himself. He has a good shot. Does a lot of good things. Look good amongst his peers. Again, he's playing USHL. Still looks like, again, he's playing older guys. It looks pretty good.
All right, so we're gonna go Hextall and Cullen.
Yeah, that's fine.
If we're gonna go with a guy like Cullen, I think Liam Ruck enters the conversation there too.
I like Cullen better.
I do too. But if we're looking at a high
And
offensive guy,
honestly, I think the D available are better for me. I like them better. And I also, again, I actually have Vandenberg above. I just think the skating with Vandenberg's really good. So on a good team, his details are really good. I like that player a bit better. I know Ruck scored a lot.
his upside's higher. He's a really smart offensive player. Vandenberg's a really smart three-way player. They're different. They're both good, but like just
center though. Like again, we're tough to find a center, and there's other forwards I like better anyway. I would go D here to be honest. Like I think almost all of the rest of these picks are D, in my opinion. Well, Villeneuve needs to go somewhere here. Someone's going to take a shot on him here. He is the highest upside offensive guy, and again, I rag on small guys. He has grown.
Well, then do we put him ahead of Klepov, Aram Olsen, Hextall, Collin?
I might.
Ahead of all four of those guys?
Possibly. But it's again, you need to know
there's so much potential.
He is an upside play. So some teams will not draft him because he does play pond hockey. But the transition play with him is excellent. Again, he can create plays on his own. Like he is the best offensive defenseman in this draft.
Yes.
But there's flaws here, obviously. Its size is going to matter a lot at the combine for him because it says he's 5'11". I'm not certain that he's 5'11". If he comes to the combine, he's 6 foot, then we have a different conversation. If he's 5'11", he's probably look, like I have Blale here too, which by the way, Tommy Blale, like great season. I do have more confidence that he can defend at an NHL level more than Villeneuve, and I don't think he pinches up for offense as much as him.
A lot of guys, yeah, but look, Villeneuve, you're taking him where you think you're comfortable.
Blale isn't as dynamic as him.
Not even close.
No,
his skating is just okay, and that's the thing with Blale is the skating. Like the skating could make him a tweener, which is Villeneuve is either going to be in 5-6 years when people look back at draft lists. Villeneuve will be in one of two spots and one of two spots only. He will be inside the top 10 or he will be outside the top 75. And that's it. There will be no in between. I don't think. I think he's extremely boomer bust. If he hits, he's going to hit huge. And if he misses, he's not going to, he'll be in the AHL or Europe if the defensive zone stuff doesn't come a long way, right? But if he hits, like you said, this is the top offensive defenseman in the draft, potentially.
It's just tough for me to see, again, if there's a team that has 2 picks, which I think in this draft there actually are a lot of teams that have multiple picks in the first round. Like you're not going to get another offensive threat like this.
All right, I'm in. Let's do it. Villeneuve, 27. I'm sold. I've been talking about upside for an hour and a half, and now I got to live by the sword, die by the sword. For the record, I think this is a guy that ends up running a first power play, and it's just how much you can bring him up to stuff in terms of picking his spots a little bit, and that's it.
Again, I have Bilecki and Blale still left here. It's the offensive upside shots on D and Ryan Lynn. Like Ryan Lynn is still available here. And
all three of those guys, I think all three of those guys probably belong. What do we got? We got 5 spots left in the top 32. So I think those 3 guys belong, but then forwards, you're not going to like it. I want Ruck and Mutrin. If we're putting Blale and Bilecki in the first, I want Ruck.
Well, are we doing first? We're doing all. Like we're doing Bilecki, Blale, and Lynn, and then putting 2 forwards at the end.
I'll tell you what, Darren. The last 5 spots, you can have 3 of them between Blale, Bilecki, Lynn, or between Blale, Bilecki, and Vandenberg. You can have 2 of those 3 guys.
Oh, well, I'll have Bilecki and Blale.
Okay. Now, what order do we want to put Bilecki, Blale, and Lynn?
I would put
Ruck and Mutrin ahead of them because the D are more questions. I know, like Ruck, he'll find it. He'll play in the top 9, and Mutrin sure as fuck is going to play. And then these 3D, I have question marks with all of them, and there's plenty of upside with all of them. So
I want to put Mutrin 32nd because
why?
Because the Sens will take him. Like,
yeah, okay. I would love him. I would love him in Ottawa. That's fair. Okay, Mutrin can go 32. We're gonna go Villeneuve then Ruck. Those are 2 upside picks. And now, how do you want to sort out these 3D?
Oh, it's Bilecki for me. Bilecki, Blale, and Lynn. And again, I'm just calling my shot on this. This kid's good.
I'm fine with it, Darren. I like him.
He's good.
I like him. I thought, look, we've been arguing about
him for 90th on some lists. I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand what I'm missing. I've watched him so many times.
Well, it's because he doesn't have a lot of points. So
he's good.
I agree, Darren. He's also in my first round. I was never debating him in the top 32. This is the point. This is the point of the first round where I'm like, yes, late 20s, early 30s. This is appropriate for me. When we were talking about him versus Macbeth and Gustafson, that was a little bit rich for my liking because
I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. I don't think he's that far off Macbeth.
Guess what? We got a long playoff run to judge that, and I'm more than open to moving up. This is not going to be our final list, right? But as of right now, I've seen enough that I'm comfortable putting him here. There's the guys that we put ahead of him have less. They have less things to develop.
Is there anyone here that you're surprised fell off this list for you, like from as the year's gone on?
Rubric. Like I look at him and I'm like, how are you a second rounder? But here we are. We didn't even neither one of us even brought him up once in terms of putting him on the list.
That's he was literally ranked.
Preston's got all the talent in the world, but we talked about his flaws earlier. Some guys that I liked have kind of fell off a little bit. Guys that you like earlier in the year, sort of thing. But we knew that was going to happen. Am I shocked with anyone that we missed? No, I don't think I am.
I mean, Preston, I've already talked about. Sheilov, we talked about. I mean, Nordmark might be the one that.
Okay, so yes.
That's the one where I'm just, again, I get it. Like, he has upside. If there's anyone here that, out of those, again, there's Sheilov, Preston, him, and Rubric, it's maybe him that can prove to me that he can move up. Honestly, I feel like he does have the ability to be higher than this. Like Sheilov, Sheilov, you have issues with him.
He's not going to be in our first round under any circumstances. So, but he can be at the top of the second because I always the second round pick because he's talented as fuck, but I don't like how he plays. I'll
say the one thing, like Jackson Cover, he's again London guy. Sorry for the bias. You've liked him because again, this guy is raw.
You're gonna bring up Cover after telling me that I've been fucking overrating him for the last month.
You're not overrating him. You're not overrating him. It's a guy he could theoretically go 32nd. He's a guy who could go late as a project. You're right.
Okay, so that could be Ottawa's pick.
Look, he hasn't played. He played roller hockey. He's barely played hockey for 3 years. He's improving every game. He need a full off season. He's going to be running. He will be the main offensive guy in London next year. He's certainly worth a shot in the second round. Certainly. I don't think he goes any lower than that. I think he is definitely a second rounder. Again, I know there's some foot speed issues, but again, he hasn't played.
There's not foot speed issues. There's path issues.
He's not fast, but he needs to get better skating. But he hasn't played.
His hands are so good.
He's really good.
His creativity is because he played a completely different sport that was still hockey, but completely different. He does these plays that you don't see in hockey that work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm excited. Mutrin we already put Mutrin 3, so we're not going to.
Well, I think Mutrin also fits what Ottawa would draft.
Well, they need a guy that's going to play.
Ottawa has big winger.
Ottawa has their core. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, Culver is a guy that I really like. I could see him moving up, especially if they win a round or two. Wouldn't surprise me. But other than that, I'm looking at Nordmark would be the guy. Rubric, I want. I
You're
want
not
to
going
will
to get an
that.
opportunity to see him though. Like it's
No,
over. The season's over.
I know. No, I'm not. Short answer, no. I'm not surprised about anyone here. Cover would be the guy that I'd want to have. If there were 33 spots, Cover would be my guy. I really like him.
Just an upside play.
Absolutely, I love it. I feel about him the same way I feel about Simon Wang last year, where I'm just like, if this is how good you are now, when you've played half the time everyone else has, what are you going to be when you're 24? There's unlimited runway with these guys, right? And Wang was really effective this year.
Well, Wang's also again physical freak.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying he came from weird situations, and like they're the mystery box, right?
And didn't we rank him 33rd? It's like that's exactly where we put him. So there's some.
Did I not argue with you and get him in the first round at 32nd?
Look at we had the right spots. Fine.
Yeah. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So there you go. There's our top 32. Fuck, we actually did it. What we say? We said take us an hour.
We'll split it into 2 episodes. We'll split it up.
Oh, no, fuck that. McKenna, Stenberg, Smits, Verhoff, Carls, Malholtra, Reed, Suvanto, Bjork, and Belchis is a top 10. Novotny, Morozov, Lawrence, Rudolph, Hermanson, Dagenet, Hurlbert, Hemming, Gustafson, Macbeth is a top 20. Sherbakov, Piperinen, Klepov, Armolson, Hextall, Cullen, Villeneuve, Ruck, Balecki, Blale, Lynn, and Mutrin. Top 32. Thank you, Gary Bettman, for letting us make it a top 32 instead of a top 31. No one liked that. It doesn't divide evenly. You can't do mock drafts. It's weird. 32 is better.
I hope this Sens pick turns into a Hall of Famer.
I hope every Sens pick does.
Well, they won't.
They won't. But they got their pick back in a sense. So there you go. There's our list. Tell us what you think. You love it. You hate it.
It'll change. It'll change in 5 days.
It'll change before we post this episode, I'm sure. Boys, have a great night.
See you later.